Hey, let's get up to the top of this temple and we'll check out the progress I've made since the last episode. Alright, so you can see that I've been farming wheat. I have a lot more hay bales back here, and at some point in a future live stream, I do plan to try and expand the village walls a little so we can have room for the hay bales near the farm. Furniture trader just spawned in. But I also said I was going to breed up more villagers to populate some of the other buildings in a live stream, and I didn't get to that. I got busy, so that's still a future plan as well. But anyhow, I can show you what I've been doing with the extra seeds from all the wheat farming. I've been planting wheat over here on this hill, and it's still work in progress. It's not completely hydrated. Some mobs have been spawning, so I need to address the light grid, and they've been trampling crops. Skeletons are bad about that. And then we've got some grass over here. I ran out of seeds, so I do want to make sure that this hill back here is completely covered in wheat. And then up at the very top right there, I think I want to put a windmill at some point. But anyway, let's get started. This is episode 18 of my Let's Play series, Dave Plays Minecraft. I'm Dave. How's it going? If you're new here, welcome to the channel. And today we're going to build a storage room here at the village. Probably got that from the title of the video. I'm going to build a root cellar under one of these buildings. Back there, probably. Yeah. It's not going to be a big complicated storage system. It's not going to be automated or anything like that. Please don't click away. That's coming in a future episode. Storage system is one thing I need. I thought about building a storage house, like a barn or something that matched the village, and I just couldn't find anything I really liked to inspire me. And I thought, I don't know, what about a root cellar? Because I need a place to store vegetables and stuff. Yeah, supplies, just simple things. But anyway, let's hop on over to the building that we're going to put the root cellar under, and stick around. I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, so we're over here at the toolsmith's house. He just ran outside. Who's a good doggy? Yeah. So the toolsmith is a fairly simple building. There's not really much here. I'm going to end up decorating it a little better. You know, we got to hang some tools up inside, make it look nice. We have all this hay, and I like the hay bale look, and you don't have to put it in chests. You can just stack it. So, and you can always break these down into hay when needed. The chest gets full quickly. I still haven't planted any potatoes yet, but to build this storage room, let's not get lost here. I'm going to do a root cellar underneath this building. And so to do that, I need to move these hay bales back here. And that means I'm going to have to make some more tools because, like, this one is just completely broken. It's about to snap, right? But we do need to move this hay bale out of the way because back here behind this, there it is. I'm going to have to build another one. But back here behind this building is where I'm going to put the staircase going down to the basement to make the root cellar. So let me get my tools and my materials that I'm going to need for this build, and I'll be right back. And I think I have everything I need, so we can get this build started. Took a small break after gathering some materials to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Everybody likes those, right? Good old PB&J. Of course, I had the creamy peanut butter this time. I do like the crunchy, but I had the creamy, and I had some strawberry preserves to go with it. That's my absolute favorite. I love that. But anyway, let's get right to this. I put a chest and a bed over here near me so I can sleep if I need to. And not that I'm worried about mobs or anything. I just like to keep it daytime. I like the lighting. So we also have a chest here full of items. I've kind of guessed at what I'm going to need. Just trying to visualize the build. May or may not have enough of something or too much of something. So don't take this as a definite list. If you're wondering what this is, it's a placeable bunch of carrots from the furniture add-on. I was messing around and clicked it. I was, crafting things, and you click one too many times, and boom, I made a placeable bunch of carrots. So we'll figure out what to do with that. Oh, let me grab the crafting table out of here, drop this down. We're going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. So, not too fast, but, So what I'm going to do is pick a spot here. We're going to build a stairway down into the root cellar. We could do it at the end of the building, but I prefer the way I've done similar builds before, so we're going to do it this way. I'll go ahead and break the ground here. We're going to dig down just a little bit. So what you want to do, what I'm going to do, is just get down underneath the foundation right here of that cobble, and then we're going to dig in. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and dig the rest of this across just a little bit. I'm not exactly sure how far I want to go with that, so we'll just leave it right there. Let's dig this way. Okay, so now we've dug all the way across. Let me put that back. We just want to dig underneath the building. That's the plan here. Just dig out underneath, and I can show you that as you dig underneath, if you've never done this before, just follow the outline of the building. So we have the log supports here, and we have some cobble, and then it goes this way. So we'll dig it that way. What I typically do is just do like a perimeter. We're just going to dig around. Oh, we found another log support, so I think we're going to turn, and we're going to go this way till we find the next one. You can see the edge of the grass right there. That's a exposed dirt block, so it's grass. Like, if we dig it out, there's nothing there. We don't want to dig under that. So we're going to turn at this foundation point, and we're going to go this way. Just going to show you this real quick. This is just how I get started if I'm going to dig down under a building. Then we got to stop there. We got to turn and go back. We drop a little torch here and there just to keep safe. Because if you walk away from this to go get more materials or whatever, your dark spots are gonna spawn the creeper, and you don't want that. So anyway, so I would just dig this out so we have kind of a shape, an outline of the underneath of the building. And it's going very slow because I have stone tools still. I don't have any kind of efficiency or beacons or anything like that. But after you get the... Ooh, we got some lapis. I didn't see that a while ago. But we've got the kind of the basic shape here of what this is going to look like. I'm going to dig this out just a little further. We're going to put the staircase back here on this side. So depending on how far you want to go down is how far your staircase is going to go out. But I'm going to go ahead and dig this down some more. I think what we're going to do is we've got the foundation here, so we want to go down about 6 blocks. So we've already dug 2 down. So I'm going to dig 4 more down, and then I'll be right back. I have all the stone and dirt dug out. We went down 6 blocks, and you can see where the log supports are for the building. And I'm just going to go ahead and take this and continue it down to the floor, down here in the basement. I just like to do this because I think the structure gives me something to work with and how we can design what the room looks like down here, because I don't want just a big empty room down here, you know. Put that there. And to be honest, some of this is going to be hidden because if I just go ahead and break that out, let me hop up here and see if I can grab my logs, grab some cobble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this in. We're going to bring this down. Whoops, that might be a little too far, but let's break that out. We're going to extend the foundation of the building down just a little, and it'll make more sense later. But we want to have a little bit of a buffer, a little bit of a room between the downstairs and the upstairs. I just like to do it this way. I don't really have a good reason. I ran out of cobble. But anyway, let me go ahead and extend this down as well. Do we get this one? And we'll grab this one. And then I'll go ahead and reclaim my log from up there. Just get that back. I don't know if I'm able. I didn't think about it until after I did it. Alright. This is a Let's Play, not a tutorial video after all. So we can play and figure it out as we go. I'm going to grab some more cobble. Oh, I had this book on me earlier, and in case you're wondering what this is, I've been kind of keeping a list of things that I want to do, and when I built a big house for the plane, the plane's big house, I have all the materials that I needed for each one of those. Root Cellar, I guessed at what I would need. Maybe it's accurate, I don't know, but it helped me gather everything. So let's go ahead and finish what I started down here. We're going to put that in. So now that you have the framing in, then you can kind of figure out, well, what do I want this to look like? So this is a root cellar. Basically just means storage under a building or down underground, right? So I want to put in some chests probably on this wall. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 spots for double chests. And we're probably going to stack them up about 3 high, so it's 15. Then we'll have a ceiling. So we're going to have to dig into that. And where I have this wall set back like this on each of these sides, I want to go ahead and dig into here as well. We like to create depth when we do builds if we can. So everywhere you see where it's going in like this, I want to change this out to something else. So I'm just going to dig it out. And this is going to take a while to go through and dig all these spots out, especially for the chests here. So I'm going to start over on this side because I'm going to need a little bit of room here. So I'm going to dig this out and get all this ready for storage and some more decoration, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I've gone ahead and dug out the area for the storage chests and a little spot like this for barrels. And we've got some other things going on. I think I'm going to put a furnace back here, maybe a work area back in this spot. And I've knocked the logs off the top here because I'm going to go ahead and extend this foundation down another layer. So that makes 2. If we come up here and look, we're going to see that we have the original foundation of the building out of cobble, and then we're going to come down another 2 layers of cobblestone. I went ahead and left the log in this corner because it's exposed. And one of the reasons I'm extending that down another layer is because when I dug under here for that storage room, when I tried to put in a ceiling, you have to replace these dirt blocks, or these grass blocks, I mean. And so then you end up seeing it out here out front, and we don't want that. So I went ahead, that's why I'm going to extend it down 2 layers underneath so we can put in a false ceiling underneath here without having to disturb the dirt up there. It's kind of weird to explain because I didn't show you, but just trust me, this will work out. So we're just going to add the cobble in and extend this down. It just gives me enough room to build down here without breaking into the ground above, because if you see right there, it might be hard to see, but see that grass at the top of that block? So that's out front of the building. And back here was the same, so I went ahead and put some dirt in to block that out. But if we're going to build down here, we might want to put lights in the ceiling. You never know what you're going to do, so just make sure you have enough room between your build under the house and the house itself and the ground around, so you have enough to conceal it under here if you need to. But anyway, back to this build. We're going to extend the framing now. Now that we have the shape of the room the way I want, I'm going to go ahead and put these log supports and just start connecting them so we get more of a shape for this room. We just connect this across like that. And then we're going to bring this across to here, but I don't want to lose this log. Now, some Minecraft purists will be like, no, it has to be the same material underneath, you know. Not in early Minecraft. I'm not wasting material like that. You're never going to see that log. So why would there be a log back there? So I put filler. I happen to have cobble on me, so I put cobble. You could use dirt or whatever you don't like. Just put it back there, hide it. That's my philosophy. That's the way I like to do it. So as long as you can see the log, then it's worth spending the time or the money, the effort, you know, if you want to look at it that way. So if I put this log here and I come across, you don't see that. Nobody's going to see that. And that's wood. I need that material for something else, you know. So let's break that out. We're going to replace that. I know some people don't like it, and then other people live by it. So either you hate it or you love it. But we're going to come across this way. I'm going to bring this one across this way. And then we're going to put another right here. But this might be exposed. So let's go ahead and use a full log right here. Let's bring this down. We're going to create our own support right here that is not above in the house. But it's okay. It makes sense, right? We're just structuring this basement root cellar. So let me try not to turn around too much and get you dizzy down here. But now we have a framed structure, and you can see all I did was just connect everything together. And let's make sure I didn't waste any material back here. I sure did. Look at that. Grab that, put that back. Did I do that over here as well? I did. Now this is not going to be seen from this side because we're going to have a what I call a false ceiling in here above the chests. Let's go ahead and... Why did I do that? Just ignore me. Just ignore me. We're going to grab that. We're going to put that back. Okay. I think I have it all figured out here. This spot might be filled in, so be on the safe side. Let's fill that. Where's my log? No, Minecraft Bedrock has been doing that to me. It's been, yeah, I don't think I got that back. You put a block in there, it's supposed to push the item out. Sometimes it doesn't, so... Oh well, it happens. So I think we're all ready to do the next step. So now that we have everything framed in, I think what I want to do is put some temporary lighting in here, just in case it gets dark, because I've been trying to sleep to keep the sun out, but you never know. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is we can make some chests, and we can make some barrels, we can make, let's see, I've got some planks. Yeah. So let me just do that real quick. We're going to use all of that, and I think that I'm going to need more of that for sure. Because 7 chests is not going to do it. We're going to actually need 30 chests. So let me go grab some more bamboo planks and make those chests, and we'll be right back. And for those of you that don't know, I've been harvesting bamboo here and there since the start of this series. So I've definitely got some bamboo. I hope this is enough. Let me use this one. Let's try this again. So that's going to make 40 chests. I needed at least 30, I think. But I grabbed more than enough bamboo. And I'm always needing chests somewhere. So I definitely have extra, and that's okay. So let's put some chests in down here. Get down in the hole here. Alright. Well, this is where things get a little interesting. So normally, I see people do their storage systems, you know, they're going to make a little storage room, and you just come in and you put some chests, and then you stack them up, right? So then you get a double chest, and then if you stack it up 3 high, which is what we're going to do, we're going to go 3 blocks tall. So you'd have 3 double chests, and then there's this empty spot where you could probably put a chest, or maybe 3 chests and a barrel, and then you could put another chest here, right? Another stack of 3 chests. But in case you don't know, since this is still early game, I'm just sharing the knowledge and the wisdom of early game stuff. You turn your chests sideways, so you're going to look at them this way, right? You're going to get more in the same space. So instead of 1 double chest in this space, you turn them sideways, and now you've got 2 double chests in this width here. So we're going to go ahead and put down a few more, just to kind of give you an idea, and we're going to stack these 3 tall. And I'm going to put one right here, but to do this one, I've got to break down this block here. And we got to break in to this side here on this wall. I should have mined this out already, but we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay. Put the last double chest in. I just like to keep them all facing the same way, because the little latch on the chest, this little silver part, I like to have them all on the same side so you can see through between the chests. So anyway, you put these double chests in, and then you have to crouch to click and add more if you don't know that. So we're going to add the rest of these in, just like that. I'm going to crouch to add that one. There we go. So what we need is to put in a ceiling above here. So normally when you open a chest, you see how the lid just pops right up and it goes through the block. That's because these are considered transparent blocks, right? But if you were to put a block above that, let's just say we throw a log up here, you can't open the chest. Everybody's probably seen that before, right? And so then you're like, oh man, I can't open the chest. Let me get rid of the log. All right, but if we put a transparent block, and some of the blocks in Minecraft, and you can Google it to see which ones, they have lists out there. But staircase just happens to be one of those items that is a transparent block. So if we put a staircase above the chest and you try to open it, you can see it opens right through it. See? So what I'm going to do is put stair steps back here, and then stair steps right in front. There's always these little things that just get in my way. There we go. All right, so now we have the illusion of a plank or slab ceiling right there, and I think that looks good. And we can still open the chest on the top. So if you didn't know that, now you do. And we just go back and we add our chests like so. And then over on the side, I'm going to add planks because you can see through the chests right here, right there, and right there. And I don't want to see stone through there. I want it to have a finished look. And in fact, in the back, I want to have a finished look as well. So when you look through from the front, I don't want that gray showing back there. So I'll come back in here and then I will add whatever material you want to build your walls out of. And then for this part here, I'll just do filler. Ignore the copper in there. I've got so much copper that I'm not doing anything with. Get back to the planks, and then we'll fill this in. And then put our log back in place. And so now, and I'm just going with a stone floor. I might change that in the future, but I like that raw, natural look. I mean, we carved this out of stone, this whole room, so naturally when you get down to this point, you would just, leave your stone floor. But we have the plank look through the chest, so when I walk this way and back and forth, you see the planks back there. You also see the planks right here as well on the side where it's very, very visible. And over on this side, between these two log supports over here, we're just going to have, we're going to put barrels over here. So I need to make the barrels. That way we can finish this room up. And probably going to go ahead and prep a few other things. I've got the crafting tables. I need to make some furnaces and make sure I have enough planks for the ceiling. And then we got to figure out this wall right here. So I'm going to go get those materials and then we'll get started on that. I've put in these planks here and I've got this cobble because we're going to put stuff in front of the cobble. Actually, this one here is going to be plank. So again, I'm saving materials because we're so early game and I'm just kind of like, I don't know, frugal like that, if you want to put it that way. So I think what I need is a few more barrels. If I counted my spots right, I need 20. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the barrels in. Now you see how that looks? See how I didn't use the wood back behind there? It's just cobble. Being frugal. We're going to put barrels in this side to block out that storage on there. So now we've got a little work area and we have some storage. And then we also have some barrels on this side. So let's pop these in. Got a little depth there. And then this will be the furnace area. So I think for now, it's such a small operation. I don't need a big furnace array or a super smelter or anything like that yet. But we'll get to that at some point. I just figured I would dig that out and maybe just kind of spruced it up a little bit. We use this polished andesite look. I didn't want to use just stone or cobble, and I don't think the furnaces should be inset into a wooden wall. It just doesn't make sense. They're going to get really hot. So we got a little place to cook a few items and do some work. We may improve this later. Let me go ahead and fill this in. I kind of want to just have that backfilled with a little cobble, I think. I don't really know yet. That part's just kind of maybe for later. We'll figure it out later. All right, for barrels, I'm just going to bring these barrels across here, kind of block the staircase out a little bit and give myself more storage. I have to crouch to do that one. And then we've got this little work area here. I'm going to dig this out because I don't like the stone look as much as I do the finished look of the planks. So let's put some planks in right here. So now we've got a little work area started. Over on this side, we're going to do some cobble steps. I think I have enough. I didn't count. Look at that. It was perfect. Do the cobble steps, and then right here, just around this, I'm going to put in cobble to kind of just make the shape of the staircase. Or the area, or... You know what? Let's get rid of this, because I don't want to wrap that around the building. So we'll just put that right back to dirt. The grass will grow back. We've got some fencing. I don't know if I have enough, but we're going to start at this end and come around this way. And this is really just, oh, look, that's perfect. Just for safety, I don't want the villager to just walk along and and fall down in there and take damage. So we have this. We're going to fix this wall. I think it's going to be cobble. It just makes sense that this would be backfilled with cobble, I think. I don't know. You do it how you want to do it, and I'll eventually dig out all this stone here and make all that cobble as well, just to kind of make it all look the same, at least inside the stairwell. But, I mean, we could go wood planking at some point, like down below this line, maybe. I don't know. I'll figure that out. That's not the important part right now. But what I think is important is getting the ceiling in. So let's do that. I'm just going to put planks to hold that cobblestone up there. We just imagine that this is all tied into these big support members, and we get our ceiling put in. But we don't have permanent lighting yet, so let's get the torches out and see how dark it is. I did make a couple of lanterns just for the aesthetics of it, so I'm going to put a lantern on top of this crafting table. This covers this whole area. And then we need some kind of a light in here, so we could just like hang one, but it kind of blocks the barrel, but doesn't. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a table. Let's do that. I don't know if I have... Let me grab what I need here. And I know we're about time. This episode is running short. Hold on, running short. It's running long. I'm running short on time is what I was thinking. But we have, let's see, we have a furniture add-on. Ooh, baskets of carrots. What's going to take the sticks? Hold up. We're going to make a basket of carrots. I just need more sticks. I've got to make more planks. Let's get some more planks in here. Let's get some more sticks. Let's see. I need something else, though. Oh, there it is. I want a small oak table. And we're going to put this table right there. Okay. Here, let's grab this lantern and put it on the table. There we go. And then we can make a... Where'd that basket of carrots go? There we go. Let's make it a basket of carrots because we have a carrot farm. So we're going to have some decor down here. We're going to load up this stuff with carrots, potatoes. I think like the bulk items, anything I have in bulk over here at the village that I'm building with. A lot of the buildings are oak wood and cobblestone, and so we're going to have obviously cobblestone and oak. Once I get silk touch pick, we'll have regular stone. So bulk items are going to go in these chests right here. And then, so it gives me a little bit of storage here at the village. And then all the barrels are for like smaller bulk items, like, you know, maybe fill it full of, a few of them full of potatoes and a few full of carrots and a few of them with like crafted items I have left over from the builds, like stair steps and planks and, you know, you name it, just extras, extra stuff. So I think this is going to be, it's a little overkill, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of storage here. So I'm going to get some good use out of this while we're here at the village. And I think that we can put this extra stack of carrots like right on top of that basket. Look at that. I like the way that looks. That looks good. And then we could go a step further, maybe over here by the oven. Let me come up here and grab some potatoes. We got some sticks and potatoes. We should be able to make a basket of potatoes, I bet. Let's look. We go in here and we look inside and we find, and we can even just go to the search bar and type BAS for basket. And basket of apples, that's coming. We'll do that soon, right? So let's grab a basket of potatoes and stick it right over here by the furnace, because this is probably where I'll end up cooking some potatoes. And we've got a workbench. We could put an item frame here and like put an extra a tool or something on here, like a the hoe for the garden. And then we've got all this storage. And I think for organization for these items here, we don't have a leather farm and I don't have a lot of leather, so I can't make item frames yet, but we can make signs. So as I add items to here, I can just put a sign on each one of these, and this could be like stone and dirt and gravel and, you know, so on and so forth. But I think that's about it. I think that's going to do it for this episode. We're just a little bit over time. I think that's going to be fine. I will finish up the fine details like that wall right there, and anything else I find that I need in here, I'm going to clean up my mess. But I think that that gives you an idea of how you can just take an existing village or a building or a house like this and make yourself a storage room, you know? It's not that hard. Just got to use a little imagination and put in the work, and then you've got a storage area. And I haven't really disrupted the look of this village at all because, you know, if we come out here and we look around, it just looks like a normal toolsmith's house, right? And then I can do all my farming back here in the farm and then just run over here and run down into there instead of that chest right there behind me, because that's just not enough space to put all the stuff that I'm going to be putting in there. But anyway, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, if you're still here, you're legendary. Nobody watches till the end, right? But if you're here, I really appreciate you. Show me some love in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. Anything helps. I really appreciate it. But I'm Darkwing Dave, and I'm out.